If you have an overabundance of eggs because you have laying chickens and you don't want to give them away to other people, or you don't want to water glass them, because water glassing them is perfectly fine. Now they can stay on your counter for a really long time as long as you don't wash them. If you wash them, you need to put them in the refrigerator and use them within maybe a couple, 3-4 weeks. But here's a really easy way to preserve some of your eggs for the winter time when hens may not be laying as much as they normally do. What you do is get a silicone muffin pan like this, a cup like this with a little lip on it, and your eggs. And what I tend to do is put 4 eggs at a time in this cup and scramble them up just like I would if I were making scrambled eggs. And then I pour them carefully into the silicone muffin cups until I actually have 2 dozen of them, because I have 2 of these. Now the problem with these is, as you can see, they're super, super flimsy. Imagine what happens when you fill this with liquid eggs. Yeah, not cool. So the hack I discovered yesterday, my 24 cup cupcake tin turned upside down. So I really thought, like, how cool would it be if the silicone muffin pans fit inside these? Didn't work. So I turned it upside down, and before I filled the silicone thing, I just set them on there so they were sturdy. And they were sturdy. And if you could believe it, I had to go outside, and you don't know what the outside of my house looks like, but there's this like steep hill like this that I have to walk down to get into the basement of this house. There's no way to get into the basement from the top floor. So I had to carry the liquid 24 eggs in that pan and take it down into the basement and walk down rickety stairs, because we haven't made stairs yet to go into the basement, and put them in the freezer without dripping or dropping them. I was successful, but what I did is pre-work, and I had the front door propped open. I had the basement door open, and I also had the freezer door propped completely open. So then I needed both of my hands. So I was successful. So they froze overnight. And now what I'm going to do is food save them in a dozen at a time in a bag. So the thing about the silicone is that they're easy to pop out. Now I've had them sitting on the counter a few minutes too long, so now they're starting to actually defrost, which is really gross. But what I'm going to do is put them in the food save bag, food save them, and I'll show you what it looks like, and put them in your freezer, and they'll last a really long time. But I would label them with the date that you put them in the freezer, so that when you have a bunch of them stacked up, you can use them in the order that they were put in the freezer. And there you have it. A dozen eggs, nice and frozen. And so in the wintertime, when you're ready to pull out a bag, I would grab like a regular Ziploc freezer bag and put this in it, because once you open it, it's not really resealable. So put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it in your freezer, and just pull the eggs out and let them sit on the counter and defrost, or throw them in a pan. But I would let them defrost first, and each of these is approximately 1 large egg. Thanks for watching.